Hello and a warm welcome to this analysis on Ipca Laboratories. Ipca Laboratories, this being a quarterly chart, and you can see that from 2001, the stock has had a splendid move. Okay, so this is an adjusted chart, but still, from that angle, also the stock has done fantastically well. And now after the last few quarters, the stock is seeing some kind of selling pressure out here, which makes this high made in the quarter of July 2021, and from there we're seeing a slip from 1366 already down to 680, lost 50% of its uh, value from there in this move. Now, the big move started in October after a long consolidation in October, July 2017. So that's a 4 year move from where we are seeing a 2 year decline, 50% both in terms of price and time. Prior to that, let's try to check the history of the stock, that how long has the decline occurred in terms of time and price. So prior to that, from April 2014, it did a dip down to July 2017. That's a 3 year decline. Before that, the rally was from 2011 to 14. So that's a 3 year rally to a 3 year decline. Again, that decline was around 60% of this move. Prior to that, smallish declines of 1.5 year. This is a big one, July 2007 to 9. It's a big one in terms of price, but not in terms of time. That's 2 years. And again here from 2005 to 2006. So the stock has a history of going into correctives of 2 years and more. Whenever it has happened, we can see that here. We can see here. Here's a small one. Here again. So now let's have a look at the monthly chart. Now, before going that, and as per the Ichimoku, the stock is trading below its quarterly baseline. That baseline is at 780. The month of June, this quarterly chart will come to an end. So it's got 1 month and a few days left to try to recover from 680 to 780. Else, there would be more selling pressure in the stock, as some of the funds who go by from a long term ETF funds and all would look to some kind of exit out here. Let's have a look at the monthly chart out here. The monthly chart, as per the Ichimoku, Ichimoku is has still as a future Kumo which is bullish, but now trading below a monthly Kumo support of 700 at 680, not very far from that support. $20 required in the next 5 days for it to come back into that zone. Otherwise, sustaining below this cloud, it could go back into it in the month of June inside the cloud. But if it continues to fail to hold this 700, push its way up to 700 plus, the next major support I can see out here in the monthly doesn't come below before monthly one is quite deep at 500. This is where that major breakout took place. So maybe a revisit would happen. Failure to hold this would be a result of that. Now let's have a look at the weekly chart. Weekly also quite bearish, nothing bullish about it. In the weekly chart, we can see out here that the stock had a head and shoulder breakdown. So just close this for a second. Yeah, you can see a head and shoulder breakdown out here. The shoulder, head, neckline, and from there we've had a breakdown, which is what do you call, completed its first target out here and is trying to push it further down. 1x target has already been done in that. Let's have a look at the daily time frame. In the daily, it's trying to now form a kind of a wedge out here. It's very early days in that wedge. That wedge is suggesting a move above 710 would see a reversal, and we know that the monthly Ichimoku support is also at 700. So it needs to push above that. The daily needs to push above 710. Then that monthly close above 700 would be safeguarded, else it's in trouble from that aspect. Now, the option data of this stock, it's not a very liquid stock in options, and at the same time, the future data open interest is also not showing any major signal in the last 5 days. The option of 700 call it's got a huge OI of June series, while the support is sitting at 650. The put is got some OI in between. There are no strikes with any reasonable OI. Like I said, it's a very illiquid option counter. But what has interestingly come out for me out here is the charts which, as per harmonics, are throwing in, the next support, like I said, is 1x is done. If it doesn't bounce back above 710, then it's got a push down coming towards 600, which is the weekly support. We can see that weekly support out here. But interestingly, I've got two harmonic patterns which are out here. The first one has already been formed, which is a deep crab out here. I'll draw this deep cap and show it to you. So it's a stretched out drip cap right now. It should have stopped ideally near 1.61, but it's been pushed on. But the pattern is not yet negated. Okay, so the pattern is still valid, and ideally it would become a prospect of a bounce back towards 700 and above 710. So we need to see it go above 710 for this validation of this harmonic pattern, which would then try to push its way towards uh, 775. And if it takes out 775 odd, then I would be looking at probably another rise up to 850 odd levels. For now, those are the trend line resistance of, then the neckline is there. So these are the levels I'll be looking at before I think of doing any investing in this stock. Not for FNO under any circumstances right now from a long perspective. Uh, Wait for 710 daily close for this push up. Now the other harmonic pattern which is come into the highlight is, in case this pattern fails to work and we see a slip down, continuous selling pressure, then the next harmonic pattern which is forming in the stock is at, it's another deep crab. So I'll just draw it and show it to you. That was also a deep crab, but this one is also another deep crab, which is near, here you go, 585. So this 610, 585 is where that one is, and this could ideally see some buying support coming into the stock if this particular one fails. That's the level I'll be looking at, because it also coincides with that Ichimoku support level out here of 600, and it's a 1.27x of the head and shoulder fall also. So that would be an interesting level to look at. If it fails to go above 710 now, then I would look for a confirmation before I enter at that harmonic pattern for a move again, which I would be looking towards uh, this level then of 750, and then again towards 950 odd accordingly. Like I said, the stock has a history of doing time wise corrections. Right now, at an interesting 50% retracement, the 600 odd level makes it a 62, near 575, 600 will make it into a 62% retracement, which is a very strong Fibonacci number. We have another harmonic pattern with the Ichimoku combo out there waiting for us. So that's the entire story of Ipca Labs now in the short term. Even though in the daily, trying to make a minor wedge which confirms above 700 trend, which will confirm this harmonic also. But otherwise, the stock remains weak. And if this earlier harmonic pattern which I drew for you fails, then look for that 600 level before any buying would come into this. So I hope this video is of help to you and you liked it. Please don't forget to like it and share it also. Bye bye. Happy investing, everyone.